online students, they have joined. I hope I am audible. Online students, you can sit with your web. Okay, you can sit with your webcam on if you want to. So I hope all of you have crammed your syllabus of PSIR. कर लिया cram? How many times you have revised your syllabus? Not even once. So first homework for all of you is to revise your syllabus and cram it. Okay. So this is your first task, not only for your optional but for GS also, that every topic of your syllabus should be in your mind. So that whenever you are reading your newspapers, this should come to your mind. Okay, it is something related to our syllabus. ठीक है ना? So पहला अपना सबसे पहले optional का first you have to do is revise and remember your syllabus. Now, two parts, two papers, paper 1, paper 2, right? Common mistake being done by many is giving more importance and focus to one paper over other. We do not have to do this. Equal weight, because all the papers have equal weight. Focus needs to be given equally. It's not like this, giving more focus to few topics, ignoring other, because these, in our days it was like this, that the pattern and the trend was totally different during our days. In our days, mains used to come like this, 8 questions used to come and we need to attempt 5. And now if you see your mains exam paper, it is like a topic, question can be asked from any topic, any part of your syllabus. ठीक है ना? Another difference which we can clearly see, which is visible from our days to at present, is during our days 30 to 60 marks questions used to come. So you need to write a lot. You need to have a lot of information about that particular topic. These days it is about 15 marks, 12 marks, 20 marks. So you need to know more about so many things rather than knowing so many things about a particular topic. Okay, so if you have a basic information about all the topics, you will be able to write good answers for your mains exam. ठीक? When it is about optional, optional is about mains, it is not about pre, you know this. There is a difference to study the subject when you study the subject for pre and mains. When we are studying a subject for pre, a bit of small nitty-gritties needs to be required. For mains, it is not like this. If you forgot, let's say you are writing on Plato, and you forgot the first book being written by Plato, it will not going to make much difference. If you remember the name of the book and if you have written the name of the book, well and good. Even if you will not write, it will not going to make much difference. But pre is about knowing about the factual things also. So mains is not at all about revising and remembering facts. Mains is about building understanding and have an analytical understanding of the subject. So more analytical understanding you have, the more analytical understanding you will build about your subject, more marks you will able to score in your mains exam. ठीक है ना? So first focus, the way I am going to teach you all is, our first focus will going to be on, चलो अभी तो यही खोल लेते हैं. My first focus will be on building concepts. So a lot of emphasis I am going to give on building the concepts, okay, to have a proper understanding of the subject. Once you will build the proper understanding, it will be easy for you to remember the things. It will be easy for you, because what I have seen, how many of you are from PSIR background? Those who have studied your PSIR during your graduation days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, and others are from technical background. Okay. ठीक है. Soon you all will realize, even those who are not coming from, those who are not coming from PSR background, you will realize hardly matter in UPSC whether those who are coming from studying PSR during your college days and the way you need to study your subject here in UPSC. Might be you have started building this understanding by your GS also, that studying a subject and studying a subject from UPSC point of view are two different things altogether. Okay. UPSC is not about knowing about a particular thing, it's not about a university exam where you are writing so much about a particular topic. It is about interlinkages. It is about having a proper understanding, having, because you need to evaluate things, you need to comment on the thing, you need to build lot of views and the present relevance of the theories which we're going to study in the subject. Okay. So those who are coming from PSIR background, PSIR as a subject revolves around which, what is the central idea of this subject? Government? Okay. Politics. Political science begins and ends with what? Fill in the blank, dash. Political science begins and ends with dash. Fill in the blank. Political science begins and ends with state. Political science begins and ends with state. Political science begins and ends with state. Who said this? Pluto. Aristotle. Okay. This was said by Garner. Okay. Political science begins and ends with state. Garner. Now, if optional used, if let's say optional was coming in your pre-exam, then you need to remember this also, that who said this statement. There would have been 4 names and political science begins and ends with whom. This is pre. Now you are writing on state. You are writing your answer on state and you forgot who said this. It hardly matters that who said this. If you remember political science begins and ends with state, you are framing your answer on state, you are framing your answer on theory of state. You can start your answer with this quote that political science begins and ends with state. State as a chapter is which chapter of your syllabus? State is which chapter of your syllabus? First chapter. Very good. ये syllabus पढ़ के आए हो. Very good. हाँ सर पढ़ लिया syllabus. हाँ सर याद कर लिया हमने. We have remembered it. Which chapter is state in your syllabus? Third. Keep guessing. ठीक है ना? तो ये चीज़ नहीं करनी है. So when you are saying, let's say a student comes to me and said, sir, I have not read today's newspaper, and another comes to me, sir, I have read today's newspaper. Okay, so tell me 3 main things which you remember from today's newspaper. Sir, nothing. So this person is better. ठीक है ना? जब आपको कुछ भी याद नहीं है तो फायदा क्या है? ठीक है ना? You have to remember things in that. This exam is also exam of consolidation. So do not think this UPSC exam is something else. Whenever you will go for your mains, I remember my first mains experience, I was feeling that I am writing 10th class board exam paper. ठीक है ना? वो same feeling आएगी आपको जैसे आप 10th का board exam दे रहे हो. तो ठीक है, only after qualifying UPSC, after giving interview, after seeing your rank in the list, you will feel you have become IS. Till the time, everything will feel you same. You need to be the student of you need to be a student of this exam to qualify UPSC. ठीक है ना? So the thing is, you have to cram things in the end. You have to cram. If you can't cram, you think, sir, I can't cram, you will not be able to crack UPSC, because in the end you need to cram. In optional, what I'll try is to give you this much of understanding, to build your vocabulary this much, that for you, cramming becomes easier. You will start connecting the dots. ठीक? So when we see this subject of yours, when you see this optional PSIR, that is political science. Is it a science? I guess those who attended orientation, they can answer this question. Is it a science? It's a kind. So universities gives BSc politics degree. So whenever universities offer you courses, they offer you BA, BCom, BSc, right? BA is Bachelor of Arts. Science is Bachelor of Science. So universities offer Bachelor of Science in the subject of political science. It's BSc political science. So universities offers you what? The degree of arts. So it's a subject of humanities or science? Why we are using the word science then? What is correlated? Science and politics. It has facts. Why we are saying these are the subject of humanities, and why we say which subjects we say, what separates humanities from science? Theory. In science we have laws. In science we have laws. universal laws are there in science, physics, chemistry, biology. We see these subjects as what? Science, because there are laws. In humanities, we do not have laws. We have theories, and theories change in time and space. Okay, then why we are using the word science for the subject of political science? Because the endeavor, ये बात लिख भी लो अपने पास, because the endeavor is to study the things systematically. It is not a pure science where you are doing experiments. You come to the conclusion by doing what? Experiments. Here you are not doing experiments, but the endeavor is to study the things systematically. The endeavor is to study the things systematically. Because we are doing the systematic study of things, that's why we are using the word science. Okay. So it is not a pure science. There are no laws. What we have in the subject is theories. Okay. You all of you are done with your GS? It's going on for most of you. You study geography. Geography is a subject of humanities. Geography में क्या है? Theories, plate tectonic theory, law नहीं है. Because PTT do not explain everything. Because still there are so many things which PTT is not able to explain. Similarly, in this subject we have what? Theories. Okay. And theories are subjective in nature. Okay. Laws are objective. They remain same. Newton's law. Okay. But theories are subjective. ठीक? Now, as I said, in this we have paper 1 and we have paper 2. Paper 1, we start with Western philosophers. This will going to be one of the most strongest part of all of you. Even if you probably, when you have done your pol science in graduation, you probably feel that you face a lot of difficulties in understanding philosopher. Now this will going to be one of the strongest part for all of you. It will be on your tips, and you will feel that everything will relate with time with our understanding of philosophers. ठीक है ना? So we have Western philosophers. Who are philosophers? Anytime, any point of time in your life, one of probably someone tagged you as you are a philosopher. Probably any allegation being faced by you from one of your friend or the relative that you are a philosopher. Who are philosophers? How will consider someone as philosopher? Idealistic views. Those who hold idealistic views, they are philosophers. Someone who knows a lot about something. Someone who knows more than the society knows. Okay. Okay. So, after studying all these subjects, now you will know more than the society. You will be a knowledgeable person after preparing for UPSC and having so much of understanding and knowledge about these many subjects. Very few people, even if you see in considering the population of India, it is very few who will going to prepare for UPSC, and preparing UPSC will make you philosopher because you will know so much. You will not become a philosopher. And many, after preparing for UPSC, start doing start giving unnecessary knowledge to the people or not? They start projecting themselves as philosophers or not? Are you here to become philosopher? No. Try not to do that. ठीक है ना? Be very clear with your goal. You are not here to become philosopher. Many end up, while preparing UPSC, many get deviated. Most of the aspirants, they do get deviated and they try to become what? Philosophers. फिर वो चाय की, they do चाय पे चर्चा. Okay, and keep impressing people with their factual and intellectual knowledge. It will not going to take you anywhere. They read unnecessary books which are not required from exam point of view. So, when we say philosophy, the word philosophy comes from two words, philos. Anyone can tell me what philosophy word means? We all are PSIR background student. What word philosophy means? It comes from two words, philos plus Sophie. Philos means love and Sophie means knowledge. Those who have love for knowledge, they are philosophers. Gunjan, you have love for knowledge? Jhoot. Anyone who, all of those who are sitting here, include and me teaching here, no one have love for knowledge. I started my preparation, I came back and started UPSC for power. You all are sitting for what? Qualify UPSC, ठीक है ना? Not having love for knowledge. You have love for subjects. Anyone who thinks that you have a love for subject, you would have been pursuing your PhD, not sitting in the class preparing UPSC. समझ लो ये बात. Side by side, obviously, you need to have obviously you have better attention span. You have a good amount. Let me tell you, UPSC exam is not an exam of creativity, it's an exam of intelligence. You are an intelligent person because your attention span is better and you can remember the things and you can reproduce the things. And how I come to know that you are intelligent? Because you qualified your 10th class exam, you qualified your 12th, and you all have done your graduation. This establish your credentials of intelligence, not creativity. So UPSC exam is an exam of intelligence, and you all are UPSC aspirant. So never try to become what? Philosopher. The day any one of you will aspire, or suddenly if this aspiration will emerge that I want to know more about this particular subject, you have changed your what? Journey from being an aspirant to become a philosopher. ठीक है ना? तो ये नहीं करना. You do not need to, है ना? Probably many of you might have seen the movie Munna Bhai MBBS. A doctor do not need to love their patient. Similarly, aspirant should not have a love for any subject. You should aspire to qualify UPSC and do things which will help you to qualify your exam, not love for knowledge. Let's say you develop love for history. What you will keep doing? Visiting the ancient places in Delhi and Agra and seeing the monuments and reading more and more about what? History, art and culture. Will you devote equal time for other subjects? No. ठीक है ना? So first thing, philosophy means love for knowledge. Those who have love for knowledge, they become what? Philosophers. ठीक? Now, I have seen those who are done with their masters in political science do not have a clear understanding of the difference between philosophy, theory, and ideology. I guess in orientation class, probably I have told you this. I'm not sure though. Okay, anyways. Now, those who have love for knowledge, they are philosophers. Now, what philosophers will give? Philosophers gives ideas. What philosophers gives? Ideas. So, if you are giving ideas, what you are doing is philosophy. If you are doing invention, what you are? If you are doing invention, what you are? Scientist. Invention कर रहे हो तो क्या हो? Scientist. If you are giving idea, life should be like this, society should be like this, we need to live our life in this manner, in this way. What you are doing is philosophy. ठीक? Now we have a list of philosophers. That is Plato, Aristotle, Machiavelli. Rousseau is not in our syllabus. You can breathe easy. But Rousseau is very important for us. ठीक है? Why? I will tell you. Then Hobbes, then Locke, then Mill, then is not in our syllabus. All अभी आते हैं उस पे. Mill, then Marx, then Gramsci, then Hannah Arendt. Only women philosophers. They all have given one or the other idea. So those who have given ideas, they are philosophers. आप यहाँ पे idea देने तो नहीं आए ना? आप किसके लिए आए हो? To acquire power, to crack UPSC and acquire power. We'll come back to this also later. Now, once you will explain your idea, यहाँ लिखो systematic explanation of idea is theory. Systematic explanation of idea is theory. Like Marx has given theory of communism, Hobbes has given theory of absolute state. Aristotle has given theory of property, theory of polity. Okay, he's known as father of constitutionalism. Plato has given theory of justice. So what is theory? Explanation of idea. Theek? So you give one idea and you are explaining, okay, this is this idea. This becomes what? Theory. समझिए ना? Like Darwin's theory, plate tectonic theory. You have given an idea and you are explaining that idea. So once you are explaining the idea, what you are doing is theory. ठीक है ना? Then comes thought, political thought. Okay. Like now, Plato's main idea is, what is his main idea? His main idea is justice. How to create a just state, just society, how to create a just state. So he has given his idea of justice. He has explained his idea of justice in 5th century BC. Then comes Rawls. Rawls has given his idea of justice in 20th century. So the idea of justice which was there, the Rawls idea of justice and Plato's idea of justice is same. They have a different idea of justice or not? Change of idea in time and space is thought. Okay. So what was the idea which was prevailing in ancient time? Things probably which were considered right at that time are considered as wrong in the present time. Slavery was acceptable in the society at that time, and slavery is not acceptable in the contemporary times. So the idea of slavery has changed or not? And who has justified the institution of slavery? अरे यार ग्रेजुएशन में क्या किया है? इंजीनियर जैसे ग्रेजुएशन पास किया है क्या? Who has justified the institution of slavery? Aristotle. So Aristotle's idea of slavery and the contemporary idea of slavery is different or not? And this change of idea in time and space is thought. Change of idea in time and space is thought. Ideas do change, and that is why they are not laws, they are theories. So Plato has also given a theory of justice, and Rawls has also given a theory of justice. And justice is what? Idea. Justice is what? Idea. Actually, things are so connected, so connected, so connected that every word in this subject has linkages both ways, forward and backward. So for 1 month, have a lot of patience and just keep listening things, and you will keep building your concepts, and with time you will start building a bird's eye view and everything will seem you so connected. Okay? And that is my way of teaching. So listen first with a lot of patience. Your job is revise and try to remember things. Okay. Do not be concerned about answer writing for first few months of your preparation. ठीक है ना? Answer writing के लिए बिल्कुल परेशान मत होना. Now, as I said, in PSIR, I am stopping it here, again taking you somewhere else. Paper 1, paper 2, right? Now the two central ideas around which paper 1 is revolving is, one is the idea of state and second is the idea of justice. The whole PSIR paper 1 revolves around these two ideas, one, justice and state. Your paper 2, IGP, Indian Government and Politics, is revolving around the idea of state. And this concept of justice is very important. It is an idea. ठीक है ना? What is justice? How you will explain justice? Who has tried to create a just state for the first time? Plato. So who tried to give an idea of justice? Plato. Do we consider his idea of justice as justice in the present time? So idea of justice has changed or not? Yes. How many of you are done with your polity in GS? Half. ठीक है, half हो गई, full हो गई. Okay, full भी नहीं हुई, कोई बात नहीं. What is written in the preamble of India? We the people, endeavor is to create what? Huh? What is which is the first word written in the preamble? Liberty, equality or justice? Justice, liberty, equality. ठीक है ना? So lot of focus we are giving on what? Justice. Are we able to create a just state? Do you think India is a just state? No, we are not a just state. Given power, will you able to create a just state? You are the Prime Minister of India with brute majority, 400 par. Modi failed, you achieved somehow in future. Will you able to create a just state? It's not possible. So it is not possible to have a just state. We can aspire for that. Now the question, so you have accepted that it is not possible to please everyone. It is not possible to create a just state. Acha, so Kim Jong has created a just state in North Korea. Kim Jong has created a just state. North Korea is a just state. You want to go to North Korea, renounce the citizenship of India? बेटा ऐसी ऐसी बातें नहीं करनी है. You don't have to think on these lines. This is what you need to change to write your case studies in GS paper 4. Immensely PSIR will help you to write good answers for your case studies because you have a command on these concepts, that is justice, liberty, equality. Okay, equality. When we had oligarchies, when we had the authoritarian states, so first time who raised the flag of equality, that all are equal, anyone should be allowed to become the head of the state? Liberals. With the time, who became the flag bearer of equality? Socialist. Liberal idea of equality is equality of opportunity. Socialist idea of equality is equality of outcomes. So the idea of equality has changed or not? So what is justice according to liberals? Equality of opportunity. What is justice according to socialist? कुछ मत लिख, सब आएगा डिटेल में. What is justice according to socialist? Equality of outcomes. ठीक है ना? Every subject in this, every concept in this subject is open for multiple interpretations. Like, for example, if I'll ask, freedom. Are you free? Are you free? You are. You think you are. You are not. With restriction. Okay. Can freedom have multiple interpretations? Okay. What is freedom according to liberals? Freedom to do what you want to do. ठीक है? But what is freedom according to liberals? Freedom to do what you want to do. Freedom to do what you want to do. Okay. What is freedom according to socialist? What is freedom according to Marx? Freedom from needs. Till the time you do not have freedom from needs, you can't be free, and capitalism has made you slave of what? Needs. So you can't be free in a capitalist system. You can't be free in a capitalist economy. This is the belief of whom? Marx. So if you are writing on freedom, can you write freedom from one perspective? You will say for liberal, freedom is laissez-faire. Freedom to do what you want to do. Freedom to amass as much wealth as you want to. But it will lead to the exploitation of many or not? है ना? So, if you will allow people to do whatever they want to do, will we able to create a just state with that? No. So, can we take liberties of people to ensure justice? Can we compromise on equality to ensure justice? We have given reservation, and reservation is to ensure justice. समझ गए? So, reservation is against meritorious society. We are compromising on merit because we want to ensure justice. And who said that injustice will lead to revolt and revolutions? So this idea still holds valid or not? That if injustice will prevail in the state, it can lead to revolt or revolution. बात समझ में आ रही है? So our endeavor is to create a just state or a liberal state? Just state with ensuring liberties and equalities. समझ गए? So our endeavor is to create a just state. Are we able to create a just state? Justice has three dimensions: political, socio-economic. We are able to ensure political justice in 47 by giving universal adult franchise. We are far from ensuring economic and social justice. Who has emphasized more on economic justice? Socialist. And who has emphasized on social justice without abolishing caste will not be able to create a just state? Ambedkar. So for Ambedkar, out of political, socio-economic, which is most important? Socio-economic. For liberals, which is most important? Political justice. समझ में आई बात? ठीक है ना? So freedom for liberal, freedom for socialist is a different. What is freedom for feminist? Abolition of patriarchy. Till the time will not abolish patriarchy, there is no freedom. So freedom for feminist is different or not? फिर freedom different हो गई, ठीक है? फिर there is a Sartre. Sartre will say what is freedom? You will come to know, ठीक है ना? Then for Hannah Arendt, what is freedom? She said till the time you do not participate in politics, you are not free. So for her, what is freedom? Participation in politics. So freedom has multiple interpretations or not? And these multiple interpretations you need to bring while writing your answers. एक बहुत important बात बताता हूँ, which I learn, patent है मेरा इस पर, ठीक है ना, which I learn from my preparation. Questions will not be difficult in your UPSC mains. If you see your previous year questions, questions are very easy. Writing answers is challenging. Questions will be very simple. You need to impart lot of dynamicity your answer. Dynamicity means writing your answer from multiple perspectives. You can't give one interpretation of freedom. You need to include multiple interpretations of freedom. Aurobindo has a different view on freedom. Sartre has a different view. Liberals have a different view. Within liberals, we have classical liberals. We have neoliberals. ठीक है ना? So classical believe in some other view of freedom. Neo believes in complete market fundamentalism. ठीक है ना? Then there are socialists. Within socialists, there are different views. Marxist view of freedom. Okay. Gandhian view of freedom. There are multiple interpretations of freedom. ठीक है ना? So, as I said, so I hope it is clear. You are not here to become what? Philosopher? Other than philosophers. Now, Plato's central idea is justice. And justice is one of the central idea of your paper 1. The whole paper 1 revolves around the idea of justice. Now, I hope you understand what theory means. Explanation of idea. So Plato has explained his idea of justice. This becomes theory of justice. What is ideology? What is ideology? Let's say you are giving an idea. If you are giving an idea, you have given an idea about something. Life should be like this. State should be like this. Society should be like this. You are doing philosophy or you are giving ideology? Like this. So you are giving philosophy or you are giving ideology? Philosophy. So Taliban's leader, he believes society should be like this, where women should not have any right. So he's a philosopher. अच्छा अभी तो आप philosopher बता रहे थे. Why it is ideology? It is philosophy. All Talibani leaders are philosophers. Hitler was philosopher because he gives lot of ideas. Life should be like this. Society should be like this. So Hitler was a philosopher. नहीं? नहीं? That is different. What is ideology? What is ideology? It is also idea. It is also idea. It is also idea. Now, लिख लो, idea with a political motivation to acquire power is ideology. Idea with the political motivation to acquire power is ideology. अब समझो. I'm just giving you an overview, detail. We have a complete full-fledged chapter of ideology or not? We have a full-fledged chapter of ideology in our syllabus. Which chapter is this? Chapter of ideology. तो बेटा पहले जाके चैप्टर्स याद करो, हाँ, एंड उनकी कंटेंट याद करो, so झूठ मत बोलो, ठीक है ना. In UPSC, two things will not work. One, beating around the bush while writing your answers, and bluffing will not work at all. ठीक, you have to be very specific while saying and while writing your thing. They want the conceptual clarity, they want the clarity of mind in the aspirant, and your clarity of mind will clearly reflect in your answers and while saying your answers in front of the board, that how clear you are, that whether you are a right personality to qualify to become a bureaucrat or not. You need conceptual clarity of things. So when you are giving, ध्यान से सुनना, when you are giving a politically detached idea, what you are? Philosopher. When you are giving a politically detached idea, you are doing philosophy. When you are giving an idea with the objective to acquire power, what you are doing is giving is ideology, and what you are is ideologue. What you are is ideologue. So when Sadhguru is giving ideas, he is philosopher. When Modi is giving ideas, he is ideologue. Islam is religion. It's a religion. There are different sects in Islam, Shias and Sunnis, and within Sunni there is one sect called Wahhabism. Live your life the way we are telling you. And Wahhabis wants to acquire power by imposing their way of life on other. This becomes what? Ideology. Islam is religion, Wahhabism is ideology. Who is follower of Wahhabism? Taliban. Hinduism is religion. Hindutva become what? Ideology. Okay, so politically motivated idea is ideology. Idea with the objective to acquire power is ideology. Politically detached idea is philosophy. Are you here to become philosopher? No. Are you here to become an ideologue? Not at all. If you are an ideologue, do politics. And civil servants are neutral towards ideology, because any ideology can be in power at a particular time. Left can be in power, center can be in power, right can be in power, extreme left, extreme, anyone can be in power. Your job will be to execute. If you are too much influenced by ideology, can you be in bureaucracy? Will it be possible for you to be in bureaucracy if you are too much, if you are under too much influence of an ideology? नहीं रह सकते ना, ठीक है ना? If you are right, so while writing your answers, your ideology should not be reflected in your answers. While sitting in front of the board, your ideology should not be reflected in your answers. You need to sound what? Politically neutral. आपको neutral रहना है, ठीक है? आपको you need to have understanding of everything, but in that you need to be neutral, ठीक? Now, Plato, फिर से वापस आते हैं. Plato has given an idea of just state. Those who do not know about all this, a day after 2 lectures we'll start all this. So Plato's central idea is justice. His endeavor was to create a just state, that we need to have a state which is just, where everyone should feel contained. That state is just, state is doing right with all of us. So what is the way out, what is the way forward is suggested? How to create a just state? कैसे create करें? That state should be governed by a philosopher king. He said state should be governed by a individual called philosopher king, and that individual will be a man who will have love for knowledge, not love for power. So power should be given in the hand of an individual who should have love for knowledge. And if someone who will have love for knowledge will govern the state, that will create a just state. This is the way forward suggested by Plato. Are you sure that Plato's idea was politically detached? Inherent, he never had this aspiration of becoming a philosopher king. Probably he was telling all this to the people so that they should accept him as a philosopher king. Possible hai? And if he was doing all this, he was saying all this with this inherent objective, he will become, all philosophers can become ideologue. Now who has said this, that yes, Inherently, Plato had the aspiration to become philosopher king, and this opens criticism towards Plato. Who said this? Karl Popper. Now, who is Popper? Popper is scholar. Popper has read the original text of Plato. You want to read the original text of Plato? If you'll start reading original text of Plato, what will happen? The books which are written by Plato, Republic, Laws, पढ़नी है books? इच्छा है? समझ आ रहा है? क्या नहीं पढ़ना है? ठीक है? If you will start reading these books, you are taking a path of becoming what? Scholar. ठीक है ना? फिर papers लिखना प्लेटो पर, फिर कभी international discussion होगा प्लेटो पे तो आपको बुला लेंगे, ठीक है ना? Because now you are scholar. Scholar are one who knows a lot about that particular topic. So we have scholars in paper 1, we have scholars in paper 2. While writing your answers, let's say we have scholars who have done a lot of work in the geopolitical dimensions of South Asia. There are scholars who have worked a lot on the on understanding the political dynamics of India Pakistan. So while framing your answer on India Pakistan in GS and in mains, points will not change. Only in optional you have to substantiate your opinion with the help of the view of scholars. You yourself will not say anything कि मैं ऐसा कह रहा हूँ. You will say as per this scholar, as per Raja Mohan, okay, as per Shyam Saran, as per the retired senior diplomat. Diplomats, once they are retired and if they are saying something, we consider their views as the views of scholars. Having specific knowledge about a particular topic makes someone as scholar. ठीक? So you will say things, you will not say Plato ऐसा था. You will say according to Popper, we can see Plato in this light also. So you will comment through the commentary of scholars. ठीक है? So neither you are here to become philosopher, neither scholar. You are here to become a bureaucrat and try to always keep yourself as an aspirant of this exam who is here to qualify services. ठीक है ना? Not with lot of endeavor to start knowing more and more about a particular topic. This is a clear deviation from your desired goals. That is why after second attempt, I have seen this tendency. It happened with me also. Our journey, we tilt from our main goal by studying more and more about the things. That's why I always say keep yourself engaged in something else and do not read more, because if you start reading more about a particular topic, you will be drifted away from your main goal. ठीक है ना? So second attempt के बाद हम बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ने लग जाते हैं. We start studying too much about the content itself, thinking, self doubts आ जाते हैं. We develop self doubts that probably the content we have is not enough to qualify. No, the mistake which you are doing is not doing the proper compilation of your content. The content which I'll give you for optional will be more than enough. Okay, there is no need to go for value additions also. Everything I'll give you in the class in the form of notes and few handouts. Other than this, you do not have to refer any material. Okay? So Plato's idea, justice. He said how to have a just state by philosopher king. Okay? Every philosopher has a central idea. Aristotle's central idea is his theory of constitution. Okay? Machiavelli, he is known as father of realism. Okay? Hobbes, he has created absolute state. Power should be in the hand of state. Locke, he is known for, any idea? Locke created liberal state. He has given a theory of natural rights. ठीक है ना? ये मत लिखो, सब लिखवाऊंगा. Marx, theory of communism. Hannah emphasized a lot on political participation. She is known as the scholar of civic republicanism, and according to her, what is freedom? Political participation. So how you can be free? By joining politics, according to Hannah. ठीक है? Every philosopher has central idea, and they have given a systematic explanation of their idea. So what they have given is theories. ठीक है? They have given theories. And there is a big question mark that these philosophers have genuinely given a politically detached idea, or their idea was also with the aspiration to acquire power. And if we hold this particular view, this will turn these philosophers into what? Ideologues. ठीक है ना? Justice. So as I said, you are not here for the love of knowledge, which now you are ready, and this has clearly established this aspect that you do not have any endeavor to become philosopher because you have love for power. So you are studying political science because of the love for the subject, or you think because it has maximum connections with GS, and you did your graduation in this subject, and you have the maximum possibility and probability to qualify UPSC with this particular subject. If someone will come to you and tell you it is more easy to qualify UPSC with this particular subject, probably you will shift your optional or not? Not at all. You have love for this subject. Interest. ठीक है ना? So all of you have only single interest, that is power. What you will do with power? Are you here to acquire power? What you will do with power? Is it not wrong that you are only aspiring to acquire power? Is wrong? Sound selfish that you are aspiring for power? Why you need power? What you will do with power? क्या करेगा पावर से? What you will do with power? पावर तो चाहिए, पता ही नहीं पावर से करेगा क्या? हाँ बता. मैं सर I'll take revenge. वो भी है. I'm seeking revenge. एक बार बन जाऊं फिर बताऊंगा. ठीक है ना? Why you are seeking power? Everyone, every aspirant have to answer this at one point or the other, and 60 to 70%. There is a tendency among the board members to ask this question from every second aspirant. This question: why you are aspiring for services? And you will say so many things. Probably they will counter you by saying, I guess you are here to acquire power. Why you want power? First thing you can say, sir, I am not aspiring for power. That will be a big lie, because if you want to do good for the society, there are n ways to do good for the society, and no one is stopping you from doing that. Why you want to do good after acquiring power? Power comes out, so you want to take responsibility. That's why you want to become Spider-Man. Huh? Hanji. Power comes with responsibility, for sure. There is the only difference between a terrorist and a bureaucrat is being responsible. Otherwise, both hold gun. What separates you from a terrorist is that you will be responsible. Are you responsible? Up to a certain extent, and become more responsible because now you are preparing for UPSC. And this always say this thing to, when we say the two main when we say UPSC exam is an exam of UPSC interview is a test of personality. Every aspirant should have these two personality traits. If you do not have, start working on these two traits, acquire it. In general I have seen, means I don't want to sound biased, okay. In general I have seen girls having these two traits better than boys, that is responsibility and patience. ठीक है ना? They are more patient, they have better patience than their male counterparts, and they are more responsible. Okay, especially in the way society treats, so somehow they have developed better responsibility traits. Responsible means what? Doing your things properly. Whatever task has been assigned to you, you are doing your task that in a proper way. ठीक है ना? Coming to the class with a pen is a trait of responsible behavior. You are coming to the class without notebook, shows what? How irresponsible you are. It looks cool till college, but not while you are preparing for UPSC. You are coming to the class without pen, sir, pen nahi hai. ठीक है? Do you think it looks good on the part of the aspirant? Nahi. Why? Because aspirant needs to build the trait of what? Responsibility. Otherwise these traits can carry forward. आज copy नहीं मिल रही, कल file नहीं मिलेगी, उधर prime minister आ रहा है. Probably prime minister is about to come and you are not able to find what? The important file. If you do not have pen today, ठीक है ना, सर pen नहीं मिल रहा, ठीक है ना, in future as an IPS might be district is under attack and you are not able to find your gun and ammunition नहीं मिल रहा आपको, ऐसे थोड़ी ना behave चलेगा. सर गन खो गई थी, अरे सर गन कहाँ पड़ी है बताना, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है ना? So you have to be responsible. What separates terrorist from a bureaucrat is responsibility. Otherwise both hold gun, both hold power. Why you want power? You want power to ensure justice. What you will do with power? As a district magistrate, you will ensure what? Justice. कि किसी के साथ injust ना हो. Someone should not be harassed within your district. It is your responsibility as a DM, as an SP to ensure law and order, to ensure what? Justice to the people. So you want power for what? मैं पहले बता रहा हूँ, justice is the central concept in your subject, and no one is saying, sir, we need power to ensure justice. And concept of power is where your complete paper 2 revolves. So paper 1 is revolving around which two concepts? State and justice. And paper 2 revolves around the concept of power. So why you need power? कैसे करेगा? Justice होता क्या है? ठीक है ना? तो do we have a objective idea of justice? Subjective है. Case study, in my mains also this was the case study, and in future also you will get. Let's say you are the DM. You are the DM of a district where some epidemic has ushered, and now you are left with one vaccine, and you have already demanded for the request. You have already requested that you need more for the people, but now at present you have only one, and you are the authority nodal officer who will decide this vaccine to be given to whom. And 3 people come to you: one, an old lady; another, a young boy; and third, the sarpanch of the village. Whom you will give this vaccine? So you have power and you want to ensure justice. किसको दोगे? सरपंच को? हाँ? Why? Seeing the future. I guess you have seen the movie of Will Smith. Voting. Arey, you will ask the CMO, Chief Medical Officer, whom to be given. You are you will ask the CMO. You will consider the severity of the situation. Probably you will take a decision. Can there be one correct answer for this question? That's why case studies will not have one correct answer. It's your discretion. You have to justify it. जैसे एक क्वेश्चन आया था that a flood has hit your district, and in that flood you are the same authority of the district, DM of the district, and a flood has come. Your district is a place which is very important for tourism, some district in Uttarakhand. Okay. Now, who all are under danger is tourist, chief secretary of other state, that person is also trapped, jail inmates, the wall of the jail is about to break, and there's a threat that they can flee, jail inmates, so you will secure them first, or the patients in the hospital. So whom you will save whom you will save first and whom you will going to save last. मेरे को नहीं पता इसका आंसर, so आप क्या करोगे इसका आंसर देके? This is what the kind of questions you will face in your GS paper 4. So to write the case studies for such questions, you have a clear idea of justice or not? So you need power for what? To ensure justice, and justice is subjective. So how you will do justice? How you will do justice? Probably this case study you might have read in your graduation days, because this is the case study of Amritya Sen. So he has also tried to give a bit of idea about justice, and he said it is very subjective and it is very difficult to ensure justice. Let's say there are 3 kids. Okay, 3 kids are there. A is the kid who has climbed on the tree, has cut the wood, and has created a flute. So now A claims flute should be given to me. I guess this I discussed during orientation. So don't answer this, those who have attended orientation. You should answer this question. A said that I have done all the hard work and I have made this flute. So this flute should be given to me. B is saying I do not have anything else to play with. A has other toys also. So this flute should be given to me. C is saying I know how to play the flute. They will make noise. I'll produce music. So as a person who needs to give this flute to one, because flute is one, always there will be a scarcity of resources, and you need to distribute resources only to ensure what? Justice. And what is power? Power is the control over resources. यही तो है ना power. Power is the control over resources. So now you have the power to give it to one whom you will give, so that you should feel, at least you should feel that you have done justice. A को दे देगा, very good. C को दे देगा. You are working very hard in future, earning, working for 15 hours, compromising your family life and health, earning 1 CR, annual, not monthly, okay? And government says that because you are earning 1 CR, we should charge 60% of that, because 40 lakh is more than enough for you. 60 lakh should be distributed. Is it justice? To whom? Those who are living below poverty line, but they are not ready to work more than 1 hour. दे दें पैसा उठा के? क्यों? तब नहीं है ना, तब नहीं. Why not? Because that will be injustice or not? But who demand these kind of progressive taxation? That rich to be taxed, we need to tax more to the rich, and that money to be distributed to whom? To the poor. And this is the issue of what? Subsidies and populist measures. So how much taxation will be considered as progressive taxation, and beyond that it will be seen as what? Exploitation of whom? Rich, who are working hard. How you will decide that limit? It's a big question or not? So answers for these questions you will be able to comprehend with the help of this particular subject of PSIR, because you will build command on these concepts of justice, liberty and equality. C to be given, A to be given, or B to be given. According to Amritya Sen, you give it to anyone, other two will feel injustice. So there is no way through which you can create what? A universal idea of justice which will be acceptable to all at all the time. Who has tried to give a universal idea of justice? Rawls. So Rawls' theory of justice is, that's why Rawls' theory of justice is being criticized by all, because he has tried to give a universal idea, that my idea, this idea should be acceptable to all, in all the societies. But the critics will say his idea of justice is totally biased, and his idea of justice is the Western point of view. That's right. Now liberals, if you are a liberal in your approach, you will say this flute to be given to whom? A, because A has done all the hard work. Freedom to do what you want to do, and freedom to acquire whatever you want to. So liberals will stand for what? What is liberal idea of justice? Freedom. Socialists will say it should be given to whom? B. And there are utilitarians, we will study about this. Utilitarian will say give it to one who has the maximum utility. So it depends. It depends on what is, so idea of justice depends on what? Depends on your thought process. Okay, there cannot be a universal idea of justice. And as an officer, as an administrator, if our objective is to ensure justice, so we need to come to some objective idea of justice or not. Otherwise, it will be on the whims and the fancies of the administrator or not. And that is why, what is justice? Follow the law books. So how you will ensure justice? By ensuring law books. And law will be framed by whom? Legislature. ठीक है ना? So your job is to execute what has been told to you, to ensure what? Justice. If you will deviate from that, you are doing what? Injustice. Right? So that is why out of justice, liberty and equality, which is the most important value? Justice. We have compromised on liberties of the people to ensure justice. Yes. We have compromised on equalities to ensure justice. Yes. So which is the most important value? Justice. Our endeavor is to create a meritorious society or just society? Just a society. Are we able to do so? Not yet. Endeavor is to achieve it, and still we are very far from that. Onus and responsibility falls on whom to create a just society? Us, the young generation. Okay, ठीक है ना? Coming back to the, so you need power to do what? Justice. ठीक है ना. And it is not wrong if you are aspiring for power. India wants to become superpower. India wants to acquire permanent membership in UN. That will give us what? Veto power. So when India country wants to acquire power, what is stopping you from acquiring power? It's totally fine if you want to aspire for power, because you cannot do justice without acquiring power. Okay. So remember this these words. In GS classes I have said this multiple times. You need power to empower. Without being in power, you cannot empower. We always talk in terms of what? Empowerment. We do not talk in terms of development. It is not possible to develop women. It is a weird notion to hold as women development. How you will develop? And that is why we say women empowerment. You empower women, they will develop themselves. Because development is a subjective concept and empowerment is a objective concept. ठीक है ना? Because there can be different notions of development. For someone, constructing a concrete building is development. For other, planting 1,000 trees is development. Development is subjective notion to hold. So all concepts are subjective, and we will try to bring objectivity as much as we can. So endeavor is to study the subject scientifically. That is why we are saying it is political science, though the concepts we are dealing with are subjective in nature. बात समझ में आई? एक डायमेंशन पता चला इस सब्जेक्ट का क्या है? जस्टिस. सेकेंड कॉन्सेप्ट इज स्टेट. Political science begins and ends with state. Okay, the whole subject revolves around state. India is a state. We are a state. Acha. On what grounds we are saying we are a state? What are the elements of state? Fourth element of state? Government. So the four elements of state are government, territory, population, sovereignty. You said this. You have a PSR. You are coming from PSR background. Others should not answer this. Now a political organization emerged in West Asia with the name Islamic State, and Islamic State took over the control over a territory. So they acquired territory. Population was living within that territory. They created their own hierarchy of administration, with Baghdadi declared himself as Khalifa, and they said we are going to govern this territory through Sharia law. Okay, so they decided they were going to have their own constitution as per the tenets of Islam. Okay, so we will going to implement which law? Which law will govern this territory? Sharia law. Can we say Islamic State as sovereign also? Can we say IS as a sovereign entity? नहीं. फिर 3 साल हमने कुछ नहीं किया ग्रेजुएशन में. We have done nothing in 3 years. Can we say Islamic State as a sovereign entity? I am telling you, IS is a sovereign entity. We'll let you know how, on what grounds I am saying. So now IS fulfill all the criteria of state. Can we say IS is a state? Islamic State, that's why they said, that's why they claim Islamic State, having own constitution and flag also, with their own armed wing. How many states we have in the world? 196. 3 तूने नहीं बना दी. We have 193 states in the world. Which state was the 193rd state in the world? कुछ idea नहीं है. Which state was the 193rd state? बोलो. South Sudan. What is the capital of South Sudan? What is the capital of South Sudan? Any idea? चलो होमवर्क है आपका, ठीक है ना. South Sudan's capital. So 193 states. So IS became the 194th state. So fourth criteria to become a state is international recognition. We'll talk about all these things tomorrow in the next lecture. International recognition. So IS was not given what? recognition by 2/3 members of UN. Till the time a territory will not have a recognition from 2/3 members of UN, it will not be seen as a state. Okay, it will be a disputed entity in world affairs. Leaders will claim it as state, but it is not a state in international system. So how many states we have in international system? 193, and all are the members of UN, and they have a voting right in UN General Assembly. Every state has one vote. Theek? Good. India is a state. Now, why I said IS is a sovereign? What is sovereign? Sovereign means there is no other power above that particular entity who can dictate their laws or dictate that particular entity in any way. That entity becomes sovereign. Do you think the leaders of Islamic State will listen to any international institution and organization? They will listen to any other state? No. So this makes all terrorist entities as sovereign entities. ध्यान से सुनना बात, अभी शायद समझ नहीं आएगी, probably you will not able to understand, just listen. States have compromised their sovereignty. All states have compromised their sovereignty by creating a supranational body like UN. It is expected, at least on paper, it is expected that states to follow the rules, regulations and guidelines of UN or not? Yes. So states have diluted their sovereignty by joining UN. But terrorist outfits are most sovereign. ठीक है ना? They are beyond norms, rules and regulations. ठीक है ना? अब समझ में आई बात? Now India is a state. Is India a nation? It is. Are we a nation? How many nations we have in the world? Same like state. We have as many nations as many we have states in the world. Is India a nation? Define nation. What is nation? Acha, we are only nation, we are only state, or we are nation state? A nation state. Are you sure? We are nation state. Acha, we are a strong nation state or we are a weak nation state? Strong है, कुछ में strong है, कुछ में weak है. मैं नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा ये, ठीक है? Because are we a strong or a weak nation state? One of the most important concept to understand to build your base for the subject of PSIR. If you do not have a clarity of this concept, it is difficult to comprehend what the subject of PSIR. How many nations we have in the world? We cannot count the number of nations we have, because nation is an emotional concept. It's a psychological concept. You consider it as a nation, but there are groups who do not consider themselves as part of this nation. They are nationalist or terrorist? They are nationalist or terrorist? Those who do not consider themselves as the part of nation. Kashmiri nationalist or Kashmiri terrorist? Depends on the idea of nation. Fair. Nation is a psychological concept, emotional concept. What is your idea of nation? Your idea of nation is aligned with this idea of nation, that the complete POK is a part of India only. Okay, every inch of the territory is part of India. Or you think that the India which you know is this India? No. Okay, if you only consider this as the part of India, then your idea of nation is this one. What was the view of the West and the British especially? India is not a nation. India is a land of nationalities. And we should balkanize this because of the diversity which prevail. Because idea of nation evolved in French Revolution. And it is the idea which emerged in the West, that those people who have same culture, same language. Culture समझते हो? You understand the meaning of word culture? Culture means way of life. Is the way of life of all the peoples who are living within this territory same? We have. I guess the word diversity is also, we need to have some another bigger word, the kind of diversity we have in India. ठीक है ना? It seems so different. I have traveled near about the whole world. You see the countries, other countries, you will see lot of uniformity. So it's the Western idea of nation is unity in uniformity. The idea of the Indian leaders, especially the leaders of Indian National Congress, was unity in diversity. So what is our idea of nation, which is not acceptable to the West? Unity in diversity. India is a miracle in the West. They are yet not able to understand how such diverse peoples are living together in a single country. It is still a puzzle for them. Okay, so are we a nation or we are a land of nationalities? Are we together because of force or we are together because of the feeling of unity? Then why we need AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Power Act? If we need force to keep the territory intact, this is imperialism, Indian imperialism. End of British imperialism, start of Indian imperialism. So are we imperial? So ये सारे answers आपको चाहिए, ठीक है ना? You do not have answers for these questions, ठीक? We have strong centrifugal forces or centripetal forces. Centrifugal which drifts us apart. Centripetal which is keeping us united. What do you think? Which forces are more strong in India? Centrifugal or centripetal? If it would have been centrifugal, we would have disintegrated till date. We have strong centripetal over centrifugal. Despite diversity, there is something called Indic culture which has evolved with the time, and this vindicates the view of Aurobindo Ghosh. India was a nation, India is a nation, and India will be a nation. You are not able to see India as a nation. There is a soul of India. ठीक है ना? So different views prevails on India. Now Akhand Bharat is an idea of what? Nation. So India is a state. Akhand Bharat is an idea of nation. ठीक है? There is a difference between these two things. Akhand Bharat is nation. India is a state. ठीक? You believe in state. You see state in the form of government, because state is an artificial construct. So do you believe in state? State pe believe hai? Believe in the sense that state, you can't see state. And this is what Hegel said, state is a march of God, the way you can't see God. You believe in God? करते हो God पे believe? चलो थोड़े दिन और कर लो, अच्छी बात है, जब तक मार्क्स नहीं पढ़ा. You believe in soul, Atma. You believe in soul? That there is something called soul which is inside and which knows all what is right and wrong. Your soul knows it all. There is we born with this imprinting of right and wrong, and soul knows this. So if you want to know what is right and what is wrong, talk to your soul. ये बातें सुननी ठीक लग रही हैं? नहीं लग रही ना? यही philosophy है. So for first few lectures will be like this, where there will be soul. Talk to your soul. आपको किससे बात करनी है सर? ठीक है ना? So Plato ने ऐसी बातें करी हैं. Plato has talked in terms of like this: talk to your soul, do dialectics. There is God, and if you do not believe in God, all things will sound you what? Myth. All these are myths. ठीक है ना? Anyways, so do you believe in state? That state is good. We need state. Who believe in state? Liberals believe in state, that we need state, and state we need to ensure freedom, protect rights. Who do not believe in state? Anarchist. It's better, we do not need state. State is exploitative. There are two anarchists, Marx and Gandhi. Both considered state is, Marx said state is the instrument of bourgeois capitalist class. State is an instrument of elitist. State is created by whom? Elites, propertied class. And all the institutions which are there in the state, what are the institutions of state? Legislature, executive, judiciary. All these institutions are to protect the interest of whom? Rich capitalist class. So in future, as an IAS, as an IPS, you will protect the interest of whom? Rich capitalist. And you think you will work for the poor. This is the belief of whom? Marxist socialist Naxals. left-wing extremists, because they believe UPSC exam itself is given by whom? Propertied class. It's exam of middle and upper middle class, because ultra rich class contest elections, and they do not have to because they have money, and money is power. So Marx believe the whole state and the institutions of state are created by whom? Propertied class, and we need a stateless society. Gandhi also said state is an instrument of exploitation, state is a soulless machinery, we need a stateless society. So both stood for stateless society. Marx suggested violence, and Gandhi has given us a way forward, that is non-violence. So these are two statesmen who has given their ideas, and this makes them what? Philosophers. Though there is a big debate on whether Gandhi was a saint. Mahatma tha Gandhi. Gandhi was a politician, shrewd politician who understood the psyche of the Indians. As the biggest credit of Gandhi is to bring Indians into the national movement. This makes him the biggest leader of the national movement. Or Gandhi was a psychologist, or Gandhi was a politician, or Gandhi was a saint, or Gandhi was a philosopher. गांधी था क्या? ठीक है ना? गांधी फादर ऑफ नेशन है, इसलिए हम गांधी को क्रिटिसाइज नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है ना? ओनली पर्सनैलिटी हु इज बियॉन्ड क्रिटिसिज्म इन दिस सब्जेक्ट इज Gandhi. Who will criticize Gandhi? Marx will criticize. Gandhi is a philosopher of whom? Capitalist bourgeois class. Gandhi has been criticized by Ambedkarites. Gandhi is trying to serve the interest of upper caste. अभी करेंगे. गांधी को आइडियोलॉग बताने की गलती, वी कांट मेक दिस मिस्टेक ऑफ टैगिंग गांधी एज आइडियोलॉग, ठीक है ना? गांधी कैन बी एनीथिंग, गांधी कुड बी एनीथिंग एक्सेप्ट ideologue. But I hope you are getting that there are different interpretations towards state or not. Liberals believe in state, Marxists do not believe in state. Feminists believe in state. Feminists have a very ambivalent attitude. Ambivalent means? What is the meaning of the word ambivalent? Both positive and negative. They think that state is masculinist, but they expect from the state their emancipation. ठीक है ना? They are looking towards state as an instrument of patriarchy, but they are expecting from the state itself to do or to work for their betterment. So feminists has their own, they are looking towards state differently. So there can be different ideas towards state or not. So every concept is open for multiple interpretations. ठीक है? And when you will frame your answer, you will frame from all these perspectives. कुछ बातें समझ आ रही हैं? ठीक है ना? So we'll elaborate my discussion on nation state. We'll start our discussion from nation state tomorrow, okay? Because this is the most important concept on which we need to have a complete clarity, that is state and nation. अब थोड़ा सा पेपर 2 पर फोकस कर लेते हैं. Paper 2, as I said, what is the central concept? Power. You need power to ensure justice. Which is the most powerful state in the world? US. Is US ensuring justice in the world? So you use justice, okay, in the guise of justice. You want to serve your own interest. You need power to serve your interest. You want to become an IAS and acquire power to serve your interest. But what lie you will say in front of the board? I want to become an IAS to ensure justice in the society. ठीक है ना? So reality is different. Projection is totally different. What is the reality of politics is power. You acquire power to serve your own interest, but you will project that you want to ensure justice. ठीक? It's all about interest. State wants power to serve their interest, national interest. All states wants to serve their national interest. Is it possible that states having the similar interest? No. States will have divergence of interest. Those states whose interest will converge, they are allies. Those states whose interest will converge, they become allies. Those states whose interest will diverge, there will be tensions, animosity, and probably will end up into war. US-China interest, by every passing day, US and China interest are diverging, and that is why you can see the rising tensions between the two. So states want power to serve their interest, national interest. Okay. National interests are objective or subjective? Objective. They remain same in time and space. Subjective. They keeps changing in time and space. सोच लो और सोच लो. Both ना GS पढ़ चुकी है. नहीं पढ़ी अभी. अच्छा. Are they objective or subjective? National interest. I guess you are done with GS. Inter nahi. Not yet. Subjective, the changes in time and space. There are no objective interests. Okay, tell me which are the objective national interests? Integrity and sovereignty. It will going to remain same or not? Integrity and sovereignty is an objective interest. Okay, it will never change. States can fight war for their integrity and sovereignty or not? Yes. Integrity and sovereignty will remain same in time and space. ठीक है ना? Interests do change in time and space, but integrity and sovereignty will remain same. Those interests which will never change, they are known as core national interest. What are the core interests? Integrity, sovereignty, energy security, food security. These becomes what? Core interest. Interests do change in time and space. During Cold War, our interests were more aligned with whom? Soviet. Right now, our interests are aligning more with whom? US. Interests are changing because we liberalized our economy in 90s. Liberalization of our economy change the dynamics of our interest or not? Yes. So interest changes in time and space. Who dropped the nuclear bomb on Japan? US. Who is the closest ally of Japan since the end of Second World War? US. Because now Japanese leader opted for capitalist economy. So interest change or not? Yes. Iran used to be the closest ally of US. Pata hai baat? Iran used to be one of the military ally of US. Under which military organization? Iran used to be the military ally of US under which military organization? CENTO, Central Treaty Organization. Till when? Till when? Your homework about CENTO. When it was constituted, when it was dissolved, and who all were the members of CENTO, and whom at present US consider as one of the axis of evil? Iran. Iranian revolution took place in 1979. Shah was there in power in Iran. Monarchy was there. Monarchy was toppled, and who came to power? Shia fundamentalists. And this changed the dynamics of US-Iran ties or not? Yes. So that is why the saying goes, there are no permanent friends or enemies in world politics. What prevails is convergence or divergence of interest. Interest align, interest diverge. Okay. But core will remain same or not? Like let's say energy security is our concern. You're done with science and tech? Nahi, abhi nahi. In science and tech you will study about the 3-stage nuclear power program of India. ठीक है ना? Our nuclear power program is in 3 stages. First stage is uranium based, second is I guess plutonium, and third is thorium. Thorium. We are deficient in uranium, so till the time we are on the first stage, we are dependent on others for uranium. We have abundance of thorium. Once we reach to the third stage, our dependence will come down or not? And if we'll start producing a lot of energy with the help of nuclear energy, it will reduce our dependence on fossils. It will change the nuances of our engagement with West Asia. Yes. Interest will change. Yes. But is core interest has changed? No. We are aspiring for indigenization of defense capabilities. If in future India will be able to indigenize its defense capability, so from net importer we will become what? Exporter. So as now we'll able to serve our own interests, as we'll be able to become as we'll able to indigenize our defense capabilities, it will change our engagement with the Western countries or not? Yes. Interests change, but do you think core interest will change? No, that will remain same. So core will never change. Interests do change, and power is to serve your national interest. Okay? So all the theories in IR, which chapter in paper 2 is theories of IR? Yes, we have revised, we have read the syllabus, we have revised the syllabus, but we do not know the chapters of our syllabus. Which chapter of your paper 2 is the theories of IR? कौन सा चैप्टर है? चलो कोई नहीं, आज याद कर लेना. It is expected that you will come in the first class by at least revising your syllabus. कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. So this is the 5th chapter of your paper 2, theories of IR. So when we'll start our paper 2, we'll start from where? Theories of international relation. And theories of international relation, saying goes, theories of IR are theories of power politics. ठीक है. So if you see paper 2, paper 2 is also in 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A is all about the concept of power, national interest and different theories of international relation. Okay, this is part A, power, national interest and theories of international relations. Part B is about India and the world, our engagement with the countries of the world. The part which many of you, while during the orientation and after that, many of you who called me and asked, sir, this PSIR, those who are especially from the non-PSIR background, that sir, subject is too dynamic, and many times we consider it as dynamic because of this section of your syllabus. But again, I'll tell you this thing, that you will going to, the way I am going to teach you, you will build strong command on this part of your syllabus also. Dynamic does not mean it's difficult. In fact, it will give you opportunity to score more, and I can assure you that. The way I am going to teach you, do not have to cram anything. Before going for your exam, everything will be on your tips, because you will build that kind of understanding. Okay. While going for your GS paper 2, you do not, there will be no need to revise and update anything, because the complete paper 2 will be covered from your notes itself. ठीक है ना? IR, international relation and governance section, everything will be covered from your optional itself. ठीक? For GS paper 4, case studies and most of the concepts will be covered from your optional itself, because you will study in detail about philosophers. You will study about Gandhi, you will study about Aurobindo, you will study about Ambedkar, you will study about, because the roots, what is the meaning of the word ethics? Define ethics. Ethics, values which tells you what is right and wrong. And the roots of ethics lies in philosophy, and we'll start our subject from philosophy itself. तो सब कुछ cover हो जाएगा आपका GS paper 4, ठीक है? The 4th part is India and the world. With more and more discussion, you will develop and you will build lot of understanding that how you need to focus on your newspapers. You will start spending less time in your newspaper reading, and you will start reading your newspaper more constructively, which I am telling you, because you will start building that kind of understanding. Okay, these things are more important and relevant from exam point of view, and these things are not. Today only I have created a group for your batch. In that batch, I'll keep sharing important editorials from exam point of view, whichever will come in the newspaper. Not able to understand does not mean that you need to have any kind of fear. That I am sharing does not mean that you should understand each and everything at that time itself. That is to make you, that is to build your understanding, to help you to build this understanding. Okay, these kind of things are more relevant and important from exam point of view. Okay, na? Understanding you will build with time. It will take a bit of time before you will start building your understandings. India and the world. So how we are going to cover India and the world dynamics? Do we need to know the nuances of our bilateral ties with 192 countries, with the rest 192 countries in the world? India's ties with Kazakhstan, our bilateral ties with Uganda, Philippines, right? Colombia, India-Colombia ties, India-Argentina. No? Do we need to know the nuances of our bilateral ties with rest 192 countries in the world? So with which countries you think the dynamics of our bilateral ties are important? Neighboring. Immediate neighborhood. So dynamics of our bilateral ties are important with whom? India and the neighborhood. Because since independence we are pursuing a concentric circle approach in our foreign policy, and the main area of our focus is neighborhood. So what kind of policy we are pursuing since independence? Neighborhood first policy. ठीक है ना? So we consider that which region, which countries are most important and relevant for India? Neighborhood. I am giving you a word, not explaining it yet. India wants to maintain its strategic depth within its sphere of influence. So which region we consider as our sphere of influence? South Asia. What I said. So you need to learn, you need to remember these vocabularies, and you will write your answers in the vocabulary of the subject. So what I said, India wants to maintain its strategic depth within its sphere of influence. What is one of the major challenge right now which India is facing is rising China's influence within this region. So rising China's influence or hegemony within South Asia becomes one of the major challenge of our foreign policy. So if right now I ask you, what are the major foreign policy challenges in front of India? Can you write an answer for this question? Yes, सब लोग लिख सकते हो, कुछ तो लिखोगे. When you will write कुछ, you do not understand Hindi a bit, right? कोई बात नहीं. So whatever word you will not able to understand, you can ask me. So if I'll ask you to write something on, or you write on major challenges of India's foreign policy, you will write something. Is it possible you will write wrong? You would have, this is the art which you have learned, or which probably would have made you learn during your college or your school days. Do write something, even if you do not know. Do not leave your answer blank. कुछ लिखने का कुछ मिल जाता है. If you write something, you will get a bit of marks. Teacher will not, examiner will not fail you. Appreciate your hard work of writing something irrelevant. Please do not follow this art which you have learned so religiously till your university days. Here write what you know. So you will write something. You will not write wrong. Aspirant can't write wrong. Even if what you will do, you do not know, you will leave. You know, you will write something. Write how much you know, irrespective of the word limit. Follow word limit even if you know more. Do not exceed it. So is it possible for an aspirant to write wrong? No. So UPSC answer writing is not about right and wrong. It is about average, better, good, excellent. You evolve in your answer writing. It's an art which you will learn with time. ठीक है ना? So your answer writing evolve with time. You will improve. Now, objective thing which I was very confused during my days was how to improve. On what grounds we'll say this is an average answer, this is a good answer. There needs to be some objectivity. है ना? Otherwise, how will improve? If no one will give us this feedback of how to improve. That is why in your GS, wherever you will study your GS and whatever test series you are following, be very, if you really want to see yourself as an IS one day, be very brute in this, asking from the examiner to give you the feedback and not marks, remarks. If someone is giving you 5 or 5.5 or 6 out of 10, समझ लेना, the person has done injustice with you. We are focusing a lot on the concept of justice. That person is doing injustice by not giving you remarks. Person needs to tell you what else you should have written to fetch more marks. Where you are missing, how to improve. What is value addition then? So if someone is not telling you, okay, you have missed these points, you would have written your intro in this language. You should have concluded, or you should have added these words and points in your answer. That would have increased the value of your answer. This is called remarks. So do not be too concerned about marks. No one can give you marks. At least in UPSC, focus should be on what? Remarks. ठीक है ना? तो remarks लो, marks नहीं लेने हैं. Marks से कुछ नहीं होता. ठीक है ना? So you can't. What are the major foreign policy challenges? Let's say you will write 3. You have written 4. You will write 5. Someone has written 6. And after the completion of your syllabus you are able to write 10 to 12 points. Which answer is a better one? Someone has written 3 points and has elaborated those 3 points, and another has written 12 challenges in this particular answer. Which answer is a better one? आ गया आपको, आप बात समझ में आ गई? Which answer is a better one? Where you are writing more points because you have a more diverse understanding of the topic. ठीक है ना? Now you have used the vocabulary of the subject also, and in intro and conclusion you are bringing the opinion of scholars also. This is what a good, better or a excellent answer. ठीक है ना? So it is about imparting points to your answer. If a topic, most of the topics will be like this, where there will be different dimensions of a particular question. Okay, there are different dimensions which you could have brought in that particular answer. You have brought only 2 dimensions, someone else has brought 3 or 4 dimensions. Which one is the better one? One who will bring 4 dimensions. Okay, if there is no 5th dimension, do not bring it from your own just to make it more dynamic. It does not exist, it will become irrelevant. समझ गए? So if freedom has 10 dimensions, write the answer of freedom from those 10 dimensions. This is what answer writing is all about. ठीक है? So we do not need to know the dynamics of our ties with the rest 192. We need to know the dynamics of our ties with immediate neighborhood. ठीक है? Which countries who all comprises our immediate neighborhood? Pakistan, Afghanistan, Nepal, Bhutan, China, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives and Myanmar. These countries comprises immediate neighbor. So India and our bilateral engagement challenges कोई बात नहीं with the countries of this region. ठीक? What kind of political system at present prevails in Nepal? Do you know what is the political system of Nepal? Do you think you need to know this? देखो 2 चीज़ें हैं यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन में. पहले in any competitive exam, leave aside UPSC, in any competitive exam, and that is why sometimes engineers and the doctors have a better knack to qualify because they, अब तो CUT हो गया, even after 12th you have to confront the competition because qualifying a university exam and a competitive exam is totally 2 different things. Okay, in a competitive exam you need to be very clear what to study and what things you need not to study. You need to be very clear. If you start studying, if you study everything, you will be totally confused because you are confronting with a syllabus which looks like a ocean. Okay, it's like a ocean, it will never end. Okay, and do not fall into this trap of completion of your syllabus in UPSC. No one has ever able to achieve this. Okay, that now till this point, whatever exams you have given all your exams by going into the examination hall with a strong notion of what completion of your syllabus, and this would have calmed down your nerves. Your anxiety would have been controlled because you had back of your mind you had this thought that you have completed your syllabus. In UPSC this will never going to happen. ठीक है ना? Here you need to confront entropy. You will never feel that you have a complete command of your syllabus. The thing is not how much you have studied, the thing is how much you remember. Okay, so someone is saying, sir, I have read Lakshmikant completely 5 times, very good. You are saying, sir, I have read only 2 chapters, but I remember fundamental rights and DPSPs and the chapter of parliament. 10 questions comes from polity. One who has read books but do not remember anything will not able to do even a single. At least you will able to do 3 to 4. So who will qualify? You, because you remember. So it is never about completion. It is all about how much you remember. ठीक है ना? So parallelly focus lot on your consolidation, not on completion. Completion तो होगा ही नहीं कभी भी. So first, so do you think you need to know the political system of Nepal? Why? Why? Neighbor. So means you are saying we need to know the political system of the immediate neighborhood. You know the political system in Pakistan, Gunjan? On paper, Pakistan have a written constitution or they are running their country through Sharia law? नहीं वो बोलते नहीं है. There is a parliament in parliament. On paper. On paper. What is the political system in Pakistan? अरे यार on paper थोड़ी ना है. अरे what is the political system in India? It is parliamentary federal democratic republic. Is it presidential or parliament in India? Parliamentary, na? So what is the political system in Pakistan? Parliamentary federal democratic republic or parliamentary unitary democratic republic? कुछ भी बोलती है. Federal unitary कहाँ है? There are different provinces है ना? There is also federal. They have the state legislative assemblies like in India. अभी हमने पेपर की ही बात कर रहे हैं, ठीक है ना. हम ये थोड़ा ना कह रहे हैं कि पावर लाइज एट लाहौर और इस्लामाबाद और पाकिस्तान इज अ स्टेट विच इज गवर्न्ड बाय 3 A's, आर्मी, अल्लाह, अमेरिका. ऐसा थोड़ा ना कह रहे हैं, ये तो हमें भी पता है. आप एग्जाम में थोड़ा ना लिखोगे सर पाकिस्तान डज नॉट हैव अ पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम, पाकिस्तान इज गवर्न्ड बाय 3 A's, आर्मी, अल्लाह एंड अमेरिका. We will say this, but because one of the scholar has said this, and that scholar is also a Pakistani citizen. So he has made our work easy because their scholar themselves blaming that state in Pakistan is governed by 3 A's. तो हम कह देंगे ये बात, ठीक है ना. What is the political system at present in Afghanistan? अरे यार वो political system थोड़ी ना है, वो तो governing entity है. That is not a political system. Okay, your homework to know the political system of the countries of this region, ठीक है. And our nuances of the dynamics of, so you have 3 months to do this homework because we'll reach to paper 2 after 3 months, na? So you'll have 3 months to do this homework, to complete this homework, and I hope you will complete this before I'll start our paper 2. Okay, knowing the political system is very important because we need to know the dynamics of our bilateral ties with these countries. So what kind of political engagement? So the political system in these countries will impact the political engagement between India and that country or not. Yes, let's assume that one of the countries is dictatorship, one of the country is Islamic fundamentalist. If it will become a parliamentary democracy, it will improve the dynamics of our bilateral ties or not. So the political system in that country will impact our political engagement with that country. Yes, ठीक है ना. Now the important organization of this country is SAARC, ठीक, South Asian Association of Regional Cooperation. Are you aware that SAARC is in deadlock? SAARC is dysfunctional. पता है बात? SAARC is dysfunctional, SAARC is in deadlock, and SAARC has failed to. When SAARC was constituted, anyone, any idea which year it was constituted? Very good, 1985. Where? Dhaka, Bangladesh. And it was constituted on the lines of ASEAN. I hope you might have heard about Association of Southeast Asian Nation, and ASEAN was constituted on the lines of EU. And ASEAN and EU has been able to do lot of, they are tremendously successful. They have been able to bring lot of economic vibrancy within the countries of this region. They are also regional grouping. So on the lines of these two, SAARC was constituted, but SAARC is dysfunctional, SAARC is in deadlock. If I'll ask, what is the major reason for this? What all you will say? What is the major reason for the dysfunctional nature of SAARC? India and Pakistan. ठीक है ना, याद रखना बात, आपने ये आंसर दिया था. Because after 3 months, when we'll complete the discussion of the dynamics of our bilateral ties with the countries of this region, and you have a better understanding of the geopolitical dynamics of South Asia, you all will change your answer. ठीक है ना. India and Pakistan is one of the reason, not the most important reason. समझे बात? तो what with this much of discussion, what you will have? New learning. So you will evolve as a aspirant. आज आप क्या लिख रहे हो? India, Pakistan. Then you will have more points to write. This is what UPSC mains answer writing is. So without content, there is no answer writing. ठीक है ना? So 3 steps in this preparation are content. Whose responsibility it is to give you content? Mine. ठीक है. Second is consolidation. Whose responsibility it is? yours. Third is compilation. Who will do? You. I'll give you remarks, feedback. So it is both. You will not able to improve until unless I'll not give you remarks from my experience, ठीक है ना? But consolidation तो आपको करना है, वहाँ मैं नहीं आऊँगा. And that is completely your job, that you have to go for multiple revisions to consolidate the content which you will get. ठीक है? So first circle is about immediate neighborhood. Second circle is about extended neighborhood. Here we will not discuss the nuances of our ties with all the countries of the region. Here we will discuss nuances of our engagement with the region, like our engagement with Southeast Asia or Southeast Asian countries. Which policy we are pursuing to engage with this region? Look East. And in 2014, Modi government announced Act East policy. Act East is seen by China as that India is trying to enter in its sphere of influence, because this region is seen by whom as its sphere of influence? China. So both are trying to increase their what? Sphere of influence. And this is the geopolitical tussle going on between two Asian giants, that both are trying to enter into each other's sphere of influence. We are engaging with the West Asian neighborhood in the form of Look West policy. What are the objectives? What are the challenges of India's Look West policy? Now, the three important players of West Asia are Israel, Saudi Arabia, and Iran. India's engagement, dynamics of our bilateral engagement with these three major players of West Asia. India's engagement with Central Asian states in the form of Look North policy. So look West, look East, and look North. So here it is not dynamics of our bilateral ties with the countries. It is about region. Then comes third circle, India and the world. India's engagement with major powers of the world affairs. India, US ties. India, Russia ties. India, Japan ties. India, Europe. Australia important नहीं है, ठीक है, आता नहीं है. India, Europe. Now, not with all the European countries. Sonam. Your name is Sonam? Oh. Nahan. Okay. Nahan. Which continent has maximum countries? Asia. What's your name? Raja. Which continent has maximum countries? क्या नाम है आपका? मैं भूल गया. हाँ, कुनिका. वो मैंने दो पर्सनैलिटी ट्रेट्स पे फोकस किया था. पेशेंस. हाँ, भूल गई. ठीक है ना. हैव पेशेंस. विल आस्क दैट फ्रॉम यू विच यू डू नॉट नो. ठीक है ना. बिकॉज आई नो व्हाट यू कैन आंसर. Which country has, which continent has maximum countries? Africa. How many countries are there in Africa? Kunika. That's why I'm asking from you. Which continent has maximum countries? Africa. How many? Let's say more than 50. यहाँ पर आपको इतना specific होने की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है ना? More than 50. And how many are in Europe? Around 40 countries हैं यार यूरोप की, ठीक है ना? So, okay, so maximum are in Africa, then it is Asia, then Europe. Do we need to discuss the dynamics of bilateral ties with 50 African countries and 40 European countries? No, it is about India-EU ties. And what are the four major economies of Europe? UK, France, Italy, Germany. So bilateral ties with these four major countries. समझ में बात? India, Africa as a whole. And within Africa, which country with whom we are engaging bilaterally, trilaterally and multilaterally? South Africa. Bilateral ties with South Africa, trilateral in the organization called IPSA, and multilateral in BRICS. This is how we need to prepare. Okay. So India, Third circle is India's engagement with the major players and powers of the world politics. Now, after the end of Second World War, Cold War started. I hope this much history, all of you are well aware of this. Cold War, Sheet Yudh, okay. During Cold War, we decided to keep these two powers, which used to be Soviet at that time, at arm's length, but we decided to engage with which country at that time? China. Arey, China, under neighborhood first policy. China was not a democracy, China was a communist state. India was among the first non-communist state to give political recognition to communist China. At that time, dhyan se sunna, at that time, when the permanent membership was offered to 5, the permanent membership was given to ROC, Republic of China, Taiwan. There were 2 Chinas. Pata hai baat? Are you aware that there are 2 Chinas? One is PRC, one is ROC. So ROC is Taiwan. So who used to represent the permanent member from China? Taiwan. India supported the entry of which China as a permanent member? Communist China, and at present who is against India's entry in UN as a permanent member? Communist China, PRC, seen as Nehru's idealism. We'll talk about all these things in paper 2. So you can clearly see during Cold War we decided to keep these 2 powers at arm's length, but decided to have good cordial ties with whom? Communist China. Under which policy? Neighborhood first policy. So since independence we are pursuing neighborhood first. In 2014, when PM Modi, first time he became the Prime Minister, first official state visit he made to where? Bhutan, then to Nepal. We expect from the leaders of these countries after coming to power, first come to where? Delhi. If the leader of any of these countries is going to Beijing, what it means? Drift from India, inclination towards China, and will not like it. About which leader I am talking about here? Other than Nepal, I am talking about which leader who first went to Beijing? Maldives. And who is the present president of Maldives? अजीब सा नाम है, ठीक है ना? हाँ, ठीक है ना? So we want first to come where? New Delhi, ठीक है ना? If we are expecting from them to come to New Delhi, this shows our big brother attitude. Don't say this even if you believe this. Okay, this is what you need to learn, that is diplomacy. And diplomacy is the sheer art of lying. ठीक है ना? Do you think diplomat speaks truth in front of the world media? If you'll start speaking truth, what you will end up? Hurting national interest. And what is expected from the diplomats? To serve national interest. So if you have to lie to serve the national interest, are you ready to do so? But lying is unethical. Will you lie? Will you kill to serve national interest? No. No. Are you ready to lie in future as an officer, as an administrator, as a diplomat? Are you ready to lie to serve national interest? You will not only hide, you will speak blatant lies despite knowing this. And if you think you can't do that, then Mussoorie is not a place for you. 3 hours away from Mussoorie, Rishikesh is a better place. ठीक है ना? If you can't say lies, ठीक है ना? You have to, because in the hand you have to serve national interest. But now you are lying. How you will justify lying? National interest. Here comes Machiavelli. Lying is right if it is to serve national interest. Killing is right if you serve national interest. अभी ये भी आएंगे, हाँ ये सारी बातें आएंगी. You will have answer for every question. You will have answer for every question. You will have the command on the vocabulary to justify your answer. It's all about how you will justify this. It's not about right and wrong. Okay? So it is third circle. That is our engagement with the major players, powers, and continent-wise our engagement, like with Africa, with Europe as a whole, Latin America as a whole. Okay? And in the third circle comes India and its role in major organizations. Okay? The role we are playing, the evolving role, the focus and the support we are giving for multilateralism. Okay? That is India and UN. India and UN. India is demanding permanent membership in UN. India, as recently said by PM Modi, if UN wants to keep it relevant, it's high time UN should evolve. Okay, how UN can evolve? By bringing more players and powers into UNSC as a permanent member. So if UN has to keep it relevant, it's time to evolve. So our role in UN, G20, okay, then global nuclear disarmament, NPT and CTBT, in climate change, in WTO talks, okay, and non-aligned movement, evolving role of NAM in the present times. All these things comes under the third circle of our foreign policy. Vasu, I hope you are not tired. Online students, why you are not sitting with your webcam on? Do you have anything to ask? मैं इतनी देर से चलो बोल रहा हूँ, पूछ भी लूँ मैं. Anything to ask? Any confusion? Anything you want to ask? हाँ जी. You will get the recorded class. देखो, when that mishap took place at Rao's, है ना, it was like कि कुछ नहीं करते हैं for 6 months, ऋषिकेश चलते हैं. Okay, but the previous batch which was going on, and there was a pressure on me too, because there are more than 100 students in that in offline mode, so I have to finish that batch also. Otherwise, I probably would have winded up everything and went to Rishikesh for 6 months. So you would have been there, I know. So after that, the kind of platform Rao's, it was just a mishap. Otherwise, we all know it was not that big fault of Rao's. It was more of administration. So after that, because the administration, they were in jail, they came very late out on bail. So I was thinking to start my batch on the platform of Rao's, but because of the legal issues, I was not able to use their platform for the new batch. So I have to create everything new, and this took time. But assuring you, you will get your recorded lectures, you will get the live lectures, and in the class you can come. But I'll recommend those who have taken offline, do come in the class. Okay, try to come in the class. हाँ, कभी मिस हो गया तो रिकॉर्डेड मिलेगा आपको, ठीक है ना, टेंशन नहीं होती. हाँ हाँ मिल जाएगा. हाँ 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 जी. On this PSIR, Rahul Puri PSIR app, we'll let you know. Recorded lectures you will get on my app, and within a week or so, I'll conduct the live classes also on my app only. Array, on the group which I have created, handouts you will get it there, and material will send to you. Okay, whatever material will be required, I'll send it to you. Don't worry at all. Do not worry about the material, about the content at all. Okay. कौन सा पोर्टल कब से स्टार्ट होगा? वो आगे वैभव सर बताएंगे. हाँ वैभव सर, कब से स्टार्ट होगा पोर्टल? ये मुझे भी वैभव सर ने नहीं बताया, इसलिए आई एम नॉट एबल टू गिव यू द राइट आंसर. वैभव सर विल टेल. Within 2-3 days, within a week, we will able to start that. But lecture we will upload it on the app. Lecture we will upload.
Next week से हमारी CSET खत्म हो जाएगी तो वो then will be regular, but तब तक
हाँ हो जाएगा, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसकी. हाँ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. हाँ बोल. हाँ, so tomorrow's lecture. Okay, if you are confused between the idea of nation and state. Any other question? Students are there on YouTube live? Yeah, any question they have? If they have, please you answer. Okay, so coming as PM Modi said, UN, if you want to make it relevant, reform it. I just want to know what you think about UN. Do you think UN is relevant? Considering the way Israel has done blatant violation of human rights in Gaza. It's totally, yes, what Hamas did, we cannot justify that, but the kind of response has been given by the leaders of Israel, no one could have expected that, and no one has been able to stop Israel, and Israel is not even allowing the humanitarian aid. War against Ukraine is going on from last 2 years, and UN has not been able to do anything. We have seen emergence of Islamic State in West Asia, and UN proved a failure. US left Afghanistan and Taliban has took over power again, and UN, there is just clear absence of UN. Last week only Taliban leaders has come up with a religious police, and they have released a document of virtues and vice, and basic rights of women have been taken in Afghanistan, and UN has not been able to do anything. Is UN relevant? Right? It is where it is. UN relevant है? अच्छा चलो. To an extent. ठीक है. Okay. Is it possible to end terrorism in the world? नहीं, बिल्कुल से. मैं नाम भूल गया आपका. प्राची, do you think we'll be able to become a superpower soon? It will take time. But do you think we'll be able to achieve the objective of becoming a superpower? Or India is too... In India, it will take eternity before we'll able to solve our own issues which are prevailing within India, as there is huge population, mass poverty, illiteracy, corruption. Will be able to become superpower like US in future? Okay, I'll ask how later. Take a lot of time. Do you think we'll be able to solve issue of Kashmir? Our next generations will solve it, or you think our generation will be able to solve Kashmir? You don't think so? Okay. Do you think it will be possible to end the issue of Naxalism in India? Do you think it is possible to remove caste prejudice in India? No. Do you think it will be able to? No. Another question I am asking. Do you think it? You are from which state? West Bengal. Are you well aware of the issues which are prevailing in Northeast? Not that much. You are just living. You have lived your life near the 7 sister states of India, and you do not know about the issues which are prevailing there. Okay. Do you think it is possible to end communalism in India? Communalism means religious differences. No. It is possible to end north-south divide in India. Yeah. No. ठीक है, very good. तो अब आप लोगों ने ऐसे ऐसे अच्छे आंसर्स दिए ही हैं. You have given such an excellent answer that you all deserve an award. That you need to know this, that how good you are, how good personality you are as a aspirant of UPSC. हाँ जी, हाँ जी. गीत, हाँ, अभी मैं बताऊंगा ये बात. हिंदुत्व और हिंदुइज्म, the Hinduism as a religion. We'll discuss this aspect when we discuss Ambedkar. ठीक है ना? That according to Ambedkar, Hinduism is nothing but Brahmanism, and Brahmanism is all about caste rigidities, and we'll not be able to end the caste rigidities till the time we'll put dynamite beneath Vedas. Okay. So Hinduism is about caste division of society into caste. For Gandhi, it was not caste, it was varnas, and varnas changed into caste during the Aryan times. Now, who wants to project Hindus as a monolithic entity? So, by saying goes, whose Hinduism is more inclusive and pluralistic? Hindutva forces, because it serves their political agenda. They do not want that Hindus divided into caste. But whose Hinduism is more rigid? Religious Hinduism. बताऊंगा ये बात, ठीक है ना? अभी उस बात पे नहीं आ रहा था मैं, कुछ और. आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू टेल यू समथिंग एल्स, दैट द काइंड ऑफ आंसर्स यू हैव गिवन, दिस शोज व्हाट you need, you all need to work on your personality part of your personality part if you want to qualify UPSC. You do not know, again, no clue and no idea of what we mean by this when we say UPSC is a also exam of personality. So whenever probably anyone probably would have told you ever that UPSC is an exam of personality, what you concluded with that it's an exam of personality, what you would have taken from this particular statement that UPSC is an exam of personality, and probably you would have thought I'm a fit personality to qualify UPSC. ऐसा आपको कब लगा था? आपको how you develop this, गलतफहमी को कहते हैं, हाँ? How you develop this? What? Wrong notion of considering yourself as a fit personality to qualify UPSC. You think you are a fit personality to qualify UPSC? ऐसी गलतफहमी कब हुई? Huh? When someone would have told you that UPSC interview is a test of personality, probably you would have thought, I think I have that personality, I'll be able to qualify. Huh? You understand what personality means? What kind of personality UPSC is looking forward to? There are two types of people in the world: satisfied lot, satisfied with the things, and dissatisfied with the things. What do you think? All of you comes under which category of people? Satisfied or dissatisfied? You all are dissatisfied a lot. You are not satisfied with so many things. That's why you all are sitting here. Okay. In general, UPSC exam is given by whom? Those who are not satisfied. Do you think the kids of Ambanis will ever going to think to give UPSC? है ना, क्या यूपीएससी, हम तो ठीक है खरीद लेंगे यूपीएससी, राइट? रिच बिजनेसमैन, rich, those who are coming from rich background, will they ever think of giving UPSC? No, they will not. Do you think they aspire for any kind of change? No, because the present system is completely serving their interest. So UPSC exam is given by whom? Dissatisfied. So issue is not, you can be satisfied with the things. You are well satisfied, but you still think, I need to aspire for change. Optimist and pessimist individual. What kind of individual you are? Optimist or pessimist? Optimist. Is it possible to prevent wars in the world? No. Will world be a better place to live in future? No. Will be able to control pollution in Delhi? No. Will India able to become superpower? No. Is UN relevant? No. Is terrorism, can we control terrorism? No. Kashmir issue can be solved? No. तो घर बैठो ना. You all were sounding what? Pessimist. And we need what kind of people in the system? Who are ready to work hard and struggle. If I'll ask you to write an essay on the problems in India, we have. All of you can write. All of us are well aware about the problems we have. Are we interested in problems or solution? And for this you need to do what? Struggle. You are not ready for that. Caste rigidities can be removed? No. Corruption can be removed? अभी तो मैंने ये नहीं पूछा. No. I'll do more. What you will do then? अरे भाई कैसे answers दे रहे हो? Full of pessimism. It will reflect in your answers in mains. It will reflect while you are speaking in front of the board. Will they select you? A pessimist individual. You are running a company. A aspirant, a person, you are taking interview, and the person is telling you about the problems of your company. And once you say, okay, I know these problems. Will you give? Do you have any solution? No, sir. You tell me what will be my salary. Will you select that person? फिर we need those who tell us problems, or we need one who will give us solutions. So at least you should be open and ready to work hard to bring positive change. Your country is looking forward for permanent membership. You think UN is not relevant. Your country is looking forward for, in future, you are representing India in UN as a representative for India, holding this thought that UN is not relevant. If I would have asked, is nuke free world possible? You would have said no. And in future, government is sending you to represent India in talks which are going to happen on the nuke free world. With which mindset you will go? It is not possible. I'm just going to have coffee and have good time. Satisfied optimist are progressive individual. Are you progressive? Your answers were not reflecting your progressive attitude. Your answers were reflecting your pessimist attitude. Satisfied pessimists are conservatives. Who bring change in the world? Progressive. Youth is always what? Progressive. Who thinks change is possible. World will be a better place to live. You are dissatisfied. You can be dissatisfied with UN. India is dissatisfied with UN. But India think give us permanent membership, will make it a better institution and organization. Dissatisfied optimists are radicals. Your conclusions should reflect what? Optimism. Your answers in interview should reflect what? Optimism about the future. समझ रहे हो बात? So you need to be on the right side of the quadrant. Your answers were reflecting what? Your pessimism. कि कुछ अच्छा नहीं हो सकता. Are we doing good as an independent country? No sir, it was better to be under British. दादा और नानो जैसी बातें कर रहे थे आप. ऐसी बातें कौन करता है? Old age. Youth is progressive. Old age is what? Conservative. कुछ नहीं हो सकता दुनिया का. कुछ नहीं हो सकता. ऐसी बातें कौन करता है? Old people. Youth is progressive, old age is conservative. This is the difference between biological age and mental age. Biologically you are growing, but still you hold a lot of optimism about the world. Still you are young. Biologically you are young, but hold a lot of pessimism about the future. You have attained what? Old age. आप बूढ़े हो चुके हो क्योंकि आपके अंदर की इच्छा ही नहीं है कुछ करने की. Will be able to end corruption? Will be able to achieve 100% literacy? कौन पढ़ाएगा? Will be able to have a, will able to strengthen the third tier of the system of government? Will able to strengthen grassroots democracy? Authoritarian world will be formed, sir. Already Trump has come to power. Obviously, world, always there will be challenges. War is a challenge and we need to continuously work towards what? World peace. And this is the role of diplomacy, because war, who will fight war? Army. So you are demeaning your own work if you think that diplomacy will never able to prevent wars. Then come whom? ये वो लोग तो कुछ few aspirants who do not understand this aspect of their interview preparation. They keep cramming facts. UPSC interview is not about facts, it's about this personality aspect. So those who end up giving their answers which falls in this quadrant, they end up getting less than 80-70 marks. And फिर वो आ कहते हैं मैं तो सब answers दे के आया था. Sir, I have given all the answers. But which part of your personality you reflected in front of the board? This part of your personality. And board will make sure, even if you have scored very high marks in your mains, very less marks should be given to you so that you should not end up becoming an IS or IPS. Even if you'll get a post, you should get a post in which there should not be a public dealing. Or at least you should go and write your mains again, because you are yet not a fit personality to become a bureaucrat. Who are these dissatisfied pessimists? You are dissatisfied also. You are not satisfied with UN, and you are pessimist also. UN can't be improved. India comes under which category? Radical. Revolutions are led by whom? Progressive radicals. Swami Vivekananda, Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who they were? Radicals, progressive, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, and they will have clash with whom? Conservatives. They are regressive people. Regressive. ठीक है ना? As an officer, whenever you will try to change the status quo, who will try to put hindrances and roadblocks in front of you? Regressive. And to these people only PM Modi said in Parliament, Andolan Jeevi. They only do what? Protest. You do something, they will come and protest. You will ask them, okay, you suggest the way forward, take power and bring change. They say that will not do. They will run away. So they only do what? Protest. And extreme regressive. One, Non-violent regressive. Violent regressive are terrorist. Basically, who are terrorists? Extreme regressive, who take violent means. बात समझ में आई? ठीक है? So nuke free world possible. UN will be relevant in future. Will able to strengthen multilateralism. Will able to strengthen the liberal world order. Okay, will able to become a $5 trillion economy. Will able to indigenize our defense capabilities. Will able to get permanent membership. Will able to reduce caste rigidities. एक अच्छा जहां बन पाएगा सर, बनाएंगे हम मिलके, ठीक है ना? यही ऐसी झूठी बातें करके आना, मेंस में मार्क्स आ जाएंगे, ठीक है? विल कंटिन्यू आवर डिस्कशन टुमारो, ठीक है? ओके पूछना कुछ? टेररिस्ट कैन बी, हाँ, no, terrorists can be